Welcome back to Katawa Shoujo part 15, I think. I put my head down. Whatever they're discussing, it looks like serious business. Shizune signs to the point where her wrists crackle, and Misha struggles to spit it out in word form. Sometimes she trips over herself like she's dealing with tongue twisters, and then on top of that, she has to sign back everything the other girl says. Seems like a rough job. Misha looks tired, like she's about to faint. Luckily for her, their business is soon finished and the girls sit down on their seats again.
I'm so tired.
She's hanging her head limply on her desk, looking exhausted. I used the opportunity to reconcile with Shizune a bit, without getting roped into the student council thing again, though I suspect that door is now closed for me. Festival preparations must be tough for you. Indeed, the people in the school seem to be taking the festival very seriously. Whenever I see people idling around before and after classes, they're always talking about their plans for it. It's kinda neat to see everyone being so enthusiastic about it. I'm probably the one who doesn't have anything to do. The only one. Shizune scoffs at me first, as if trying to decide whether to ignore or sneer at me, but in the end, she starts signing without doing either. Misha perks up, looking at her hands with slightly unfocused eyes. She signs with harsh, heavy, dramatic strokes. Misha translates her signing into speech for me. She does it so well it's almost like Shizune is actually speaking, transmitting her thoughts directly through Misha. She must have practiced it vigorously.
Well, of course. We're in the student council, you know, so we're pretty busy. I'm pretty busy. It's an important duty of ours to ensure the success of the festival with all our strength. We would shame ourselves in front of the past student council generations if the festival were to fail. That's why there must be no flaws, I think that was encumbrances? No, nothing that might make the festival short of perfect.
Shizune's passionate speech and Misha's enacting are really oddly fitting of them.
Oh, hello.
I look over my shoulder and see Hanko peering timidly into the classroom, most of her body hidden behind the door.
Hey, playing delinquent again?
Hanko blushes hard at Misha's straightforward jab, even if it was only in jest. Shizune stares at her probingly, causing Hanko to look down and start backing away to the point where only her fingers can be seen wrapped nervously around the edges of the door. Maybe she is showing her dislike of Hanko by association of her dislike of Lilly. It appears so, and Hanko probably knows it all as well. What is it, Hanko?
Has Lilly been here? Sorry, haven't seen Tato. She, came by in the morning, though.
Hanko keeps looking uneasily at Shizune, who stares back at her with her usual studying gaze. What is she trying to do? Of course Shizune isn't going to look away, and she is intimidating enough as it is, so I can only imagine how terrified Hanko would be. It is a little uncomfortable watching Hanako's reaction to Shizune's normal behavior. This is what happens when two people of two different extremes meet, it seems.
Do you know where she is? If she has any sense in her head, she's in her classroom working on their festival project, but who knows where that woman is loitering at.
You need to find her? She was looking for you in the morning, but I guess you have missed each other. She waits a little without answering the simple question, looking awfully like she's not sure if it's proper to answer such a question.
Yeah.
I can come with you, if it's okay. Hanko nods fractionally, still on guard, her shoulders stiff like wood. I get the feeling that she might be more comfortable by herself after all, but it's too late to back off now. She has this really troubled expression she seems to wear, almost constantly, one that makes me constantly be on guard myself. I wonder why. I kinda understand why she always seems so wary, or maybe more like why there could be a person like her. But I still have no idea how I should act around such a person. It's dinner time soon. Were you planning to eat with Lilly? She nods slightly. So she must have been trying to get in the cafeteria. Well, there's something of a dinner crowd, just like the cafeteria is crowded during lunch. It's not as bad because dinner time is longer, than lunch hour, but I can understand why Hanako could be discouraged from going in. I pick up my bag and we take our leave. Hanako skips a little to meet my initial pace, so I slow down to match her speed. It doesn't take long for us to be walking at a comfortable pace down the hallway. It almost feels like we're going for a stroll together, something that I can't say I've really done before with a girl. Hanako doesn't seem to be thinking the same thing though. Even though we are walking at the same pace, she never comes within arm's reach of me. I guess she's still a little uncomfortable around me. Given how shy she is, there doesn't seem to be much helping it, at least for now. By the time we arrive at the cafeteria, there's not much of a crowd there, but Lilly is nowhere to be seen. Hanako's head sinks even lower than usual. Have you looked somewhere else already?
Just to the library. I was reading.
So she does spin the classes she skips at the library. So not exactly a thorough search then. Well, if I had to guess, she'd be in her own class like Shizune said, right?
Right.
With the slightest of nods, Hanako agrees with my reasoning. God, she's being so awkward. It's like I need a double-layered silk gloves with padding to even begin interacting with her. Some small talk might help her become a bit more used to me. It isn't hard to tell that the silence between us is hovering on the edge of both our minds. So you and Lilly usually hang out together after class, right?
Yes.
I'm not quite sure what I expected from her answer, nor why I even asked the question. That much was rather obvious after all. She doesn't seem like the type to cultivate a social circle either, so I suspect that Lilly may well be her only friend. Must be a pain being in different classes, I'm guessing. She gives a sharp, almost reflective nod. Reflexive. Compared to Lilly's careful thought about her actions and speech, Hanako hastens to make her answers as prompt and short as possible.
Lilly comes by the classroom, though, even when she's busy.
She gives a small smile as she says it, evidently appreciating the fact that Lilly goes out of her way to help her. It's pretty cute, really. There isn't any need to say more. Both of us are content that the discussion's reached an end. As we ascend the stairs back to the lobby, we are met by a group of students heading downstairs like a school of fish moving from one feeding area to another. They seem to be keeping mostly to themselves, but before I can notice her doing so, Hanako has moved around behind me. Hey, are you alright?
Just keep going.
The students pass us without as much as a second glance, and Hanako takes up position to my side again as we enter the building, her momentary reprieve from her anxiety all but snatched away. Even as we climb towards the third floor, she doesn't seem to relax. It isn't as if I've known a shy... Let me try that again. It isn't as if I've never known a shy person before, or even shy girls, but Hanako seems to be pretty far beyond what I'd call normal in her fear of other people. If it weren't for Lilly acting as a mediator, I doubt Hanako would have even been able to walk beside me like this. She seems to be completely shut down in the presence of others. The rest of the walk up to Lilly's classroom continues in strained silence, while I rue her inability to socialize at all. After we make our way up the stairs, the noise coming from Lilly's classroom is audible from halfway down the hallway. Wasn't expecting such a din at all. Well, I guess we found her. That wasn't hard. Did Hanako come here first, then come to me for backup, I wonder? Well, if that's true, then at least she's starting to trust me a little. That can only be a good thing. Eventually, the two of us reach the door to Class 3-2, with Hanako less than subtly positioning herself behind me. I open the door. Inside is a hive of activity, seemingly every student in the class talking at once as they work hurriedly on their separate tasks. Going by the paint cans, decorations, and banners being made, it must be for the upcoming school festival. I guess my first priority should be finding Lilly. There. Finding her among the din is surprisingly easy, not the least because of her looks. With a couple of students gathered around her as she stands at the front of the class, she seems to be in charge of the preparations, or at least busy organizing them. Carefully negotiating a path through the various students hunched over the floor for lack of desk space, I raise a hand entirely out of habit as we finally reach Lilly. Hi, Lilly. She perks her head up as she breaks off, talking to a noticeably smaller girl who must be your classmate, trying to listen as best she can.
Sorry, who?
Sorry, Hisao. I have Hanko too.
Hi.
She's pretty skittish. Considering the number of people around, it isn't too hard to work out why. Lilly takes a moment's pause to assess the situation before turning to the other student once again.
For the moment, just ask Moria for his advice. Kenji's busy with painting one of the banners already.
A quick nod and she bounces off, fingers carefully sliding along the wall's face for orientation. Wait, Kenji? That Kenji? I quickly turn about, leaning to the side to see past Hanko. Sure enough, in a corner of the room, Kenji's hunched over a sheet of cloth as he paints it. His eyes remain only inches from the brush, reminding me of how close he had to be to make out my face when I met him. Kenji's eyesight with glasses on is about on par with Trey's with his glasses off.
Sorry about that. Our class doesn't have many students with even partial eyesight, so they're in high demand.
That's right, Class 3-2 was specially for students with poor vision. Preparing for the festival must be pretty arduous for them. Need a hand? I could give you help if you need some. Maybe Hanko could too. A chance to set her mind on something would do her good, but I doubt she has the courage to ask outright. She quickly nods in affirmation afterwards, so I'm confident I made the right move. Lilly gives a noticeable sigh of relief.
That's good. This might actually get finished before everyone goes off to dinner now. Would you be able to help the person painting the main banner? It's a big task for him to do, but nobody else can help.
Kenji? Sure. She seems surprised that I know him. I can't really blame her.
I take it you've met?
Our rooms in the dorm are right next to each other. Hard to miss each other, really.
Well, it's good to see you're getting friends so fast.
Friend. Wonder if that's the right word to use for him. Yeah, sure. Kenji's my pal. Hanako's silence during the proceedings reminds me of the reason I put her up to helping in the first place. We'll go help him then. He knows what he's doing, right?
That's right. Just ask if you have any problems.
Chorusing in assent, Hanko and I begin another trek across the classroom. Kenji sits crouched on the floor, his gaze fixed on the white calico in front of him. Hey Kenji. No answer. He continues dragging his paint-soaked brush along the large, half-painted kanji that's sketched on the sheet in pencil. Kenji? Huh? What? Who is it? If this is the way he treats class members, it's no small wonder he's working on this alone. It's me, Hisao.
Right, I know that, man. What are you doing here, though?
His dismissive attitude annoys me. He must be the type to really get focused on his work, hating to be disturbed by anyone until he's done, I suppose. While we talk, the sound of Hanako's footsteps as she walks out from behind me reminds me that she's here. I was just going to help with the banner, Hanko and I, that is.
Hello.
Oh, hi. I guess that's okay. As soon as Hanko enters the equation, his demeanor takes a complete about-face. His sudden false hospitality is slightly unsettling. Oh right, women. On second thoughts, this may not have been a great idea after all. Hanko and I grudgingly set ourselves down on opposite side of the cloth banner to Kenji, noting the several small paint tins on the ground around it. Class 3-2 noodle stall. You guys selling noodle at the festival on Sunday? Yeah, some stalls outside or something. Or something. His non-committal nature sparks a fair amount of suspicion on my behalf. The task at hand comes first, though. So, how do you want to split this? We do borders while you do the text? Or do you want to switch and do the borders? Text is mine. You do the borders. He has surprisingly strong feelings on the topic. As I reach over to grab a brush, I notice Hanako's already debating between colors to use. By the time I've put a brush to cloth, she's already started on a delicate pattern. Looks like my idea of taking her mind off everyone around her worked. With a dark blue stroke, the three of us silently get to work. Not before Kenji takes advantage of Hanako's working to lean towards me and whisper conspiratorially, though. Okay, man, why are you here? I'm gonna end the part there. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later. Peace.